Hello all, welcome to channel Tech Tutorials Learn by Doing. In this channel, we post tutorial videos on tools and technologies that are being used in IT industry. This tutorial series covers tutorial on Amazon Web Services, also known as AWS. So let's get started for the day. In this video, we'll learn about AWS IAM service. As we know by previous video, IAM is service that is used to control who has access to our cloud resources and what actions they can perform on them. For accessing IAM, I'll go to service bar and type IAM. Then you'll give the dashboard for different options that are available on IAM. We can see that there are 8 users, 4 user groups, 19, 19 roles, 4 policies. In this scenario, we consider a company in which three types of job roles are available. One is EC2 admin, which requires read-only access as well as access to stop and start EC2 instances. Another is EC2 support, which requires read-only access on EC2 resources. And third one is S3 support, which requires read-only access on S3 bucket. For creating user group, we have to go to user group tab and click on create group icon. Let us keep group name as EC2 admin for job role EC2 admin. We will not assign any users to the group now, we'll do it later, and we will not give any permission here. And I'll go down and create group. We can see that our group is created and it does not have any user. So let's just give privilege for group to access EC2. So in permission, click add permission and create inline policy. There are two type of policy. One is AWS provided, which is given by AWS and it is standard, and another is customized policy that can be created by us. So we are creating the policy for EC2 service. So let's select EC2 here. And what are the actions? So as per the job role, the employee for given job role should be able to list all the EC2 instances, stop EC2 instance and start EC2 instance. So I'll click here more action and describe all, means he should list all the EC2 instances, and he should be able to start EC2 start instances. I'll click here and stop instances. So after clicking that, we can see that all policies has been selected, and it should be able to do that for all EC2 instance. If we are required to give policy on particular EC2 instance only, then we can select here specified resources and give ARN number. But I'll click all resources because the given job role, the people of given job role should be do list all EC2 instances and stop all EC2 instances as well as start all EC2 instances. So I'll click a review the policy name EC2 admin and create policy. We can also view this information from policies also. On clicking here, we can validate it from GUI as well as from JSON format. We can see that it is as desired. We can also see in JSON format. So it is created on this statement is effect is to allow, and what action the people of given job roles perform, we can see here. He should be able to list all EC2 instances and all listing actions. He should be able to start EC2 instance and stop EC2 instance on all instances. So if effect here was denied, then this policy will work in negative way, meaning that he should not be able to list instances or stop instance. Okay, so let's create other user also, other groups also. So I'll go to IAM again, and on user group I'll create new group for EC2 support, SPP or EC2 support, and we'll assign here policy, read-only policy on EC2, meaning that he should be able to perform read-only actions. We have Amazon defined, Amazon manage policy for that, Amazon EC2 read-only access. You click here and create the group. So and let's create another group for S3 support, S3 support, and not assign any user here, and on policy read only on S3. So you can see here Amazon S3 read only access. I tick mark here and create group. We can see that 3 groups are created and necessary policies and permissions have been given. The advantages of giving permission and giving policy and group is that we are less worrying about managing users on user level. If any user leaves the company or any user joins the company, then we shouldn't have to manage the policies on particular users, and it may be headache if there are thousands of users in our institute. So managing the permission in group level will help us to solve that problem and easily manage permissions. So now let us create users for respective groups. Suppose that 3 users are enrolled, 3 new users, one in EC2 support, another in EC2 admin, and another in S3 support. So I'll go to users here and click on add user. We can add 10 users at a time. So I'll add here user 4, user 5, and user 6. And we can access this via console that we are using that currently, or we can give programmatic access also. We'll look about programmatic access in next tutorials. In what happens in programmatic access is we can use command lines, or you can use codes to access our AWS services. So for now I'll click on AWS management console also. And what is password? The password will be auto generated or custom password. We can mention it here. I'll write test @123, and requires password reset means once the users have logging to their AWS account, then they will be asked to change password at first login. Then I'll not attach any users to the group as for now. On text I'll leave it empty. We can review that and create a user. Users have been created but errors. It means that since I'm using AWS account, it does not give permission to create user with login access. So we'll do this tutorial from another account, free tier account, but we can see that users have been created also. I have used next account to create user. We can see that user 1, user 2, and user 3 are there. Now we will assign these user to respective groups. So let's say user 1 is enrolled in EC2 admin. So I'll click on user and I'll click on user 1, then on groups tab add user to group EC2 admin. We can also add users to group from groups tab also. So I'll show that also. I'll click on user group, and in EC2 support, let's say user 2 is enrolled in EC2 support. Add user 2, and in S3 support, let's say user 3 is enrolled. So again on user groups, S3 support, add user 3 is enrolled. We can add multiple user to a group, and a user can be enrolled in multiple groups also. So let's go to users again and click on user one. The permission are as desired groups, and on the security credential we can see the link to sign in for given user. Console password is never used, and we can also use MFA device to ensure more security, meaning that after the user has logged into the device, one-time password will be asked on devices or apps like Google Authenticator, and only after enrolling those password user can log in. Since users have been assigned to respective groups, now we'll validate the roles that we have given to users are working as desired. For this, let's test one by one. For user one, since he is EC2 admin, he should be able to list instances as well as stop instance and stop instance. So I'll copy this link and I'll go to incognito window and I'll paste this link. Username is user one and I'll give your password also. We can see that user can log in via the credential that we have created, and it is also useful when we are creating the new AWS account. We should avoid using root account. We should always create one new administrative account and use that later. So now let us validate if our permissions are working as desired or not. So I'll click on EC2 services on instances. Let's go to North Virginia region. Since instances are created in North Virginia region, we can see that two instances are running, meaning that the permission to list instances have been working as desired. Let's just try by stopping those instances. Action, instance state, step instance. Instances has been stopped, meaning that our permission is working as desired. So let us validate for S3 also. He should not be able to list S3 supports or any S3 buckets since he is not member of S3 support group. We can see that there are no buckets and it gives error that we do not have permission, meaning that our permissions that we have given as working as desired. So I'll go to EC2 console again, and we should also be able to start instance. So instance state start instance, it has successfully start. So user one is working as desired. So let us check for user two and user three also. I'll sign out here. Again sign into console. Account ID is same. We can also use the link from tab that we have used in earlier. So username is user2 and I'll click password here also and sign in. Since user2 is member of EC2 support, he should be able to list EC2 instances, but he should not be able to start those instances as well as stop those instances. So I'll use EC2 from here. Region is North Virginia, so there is no problem. We can see that two instances are running, meaning that he is able to list those instances. And let us try to stop those instances. It should give error. Look, so our permission is working as desired. So let us validate for user 3 also. Log back in. For user 3, since he is member of S3 support, he should not be able to list those S2 instances also. So I'll click on EC2 again. Reason is North Virginia. So here should be error should be thrown here. You are not authorized person to perform this action, but he should be able to list the pockets that have been created on the S3. We'll look detail into S3 and EC2 in our upcoming labs. We can see that bucket has been listed, meaning that we are authorized. But since we have read-only permission, we should not be able to create some folder. Okay, test, create folder, insufficient permission, meaning that our roles are working as desired. Since there is no additional cost involved in creating users and group, we can leave them as it is for now. But if you are required to delete them, then we can easily click on delete user here or go to group and delete group. So go to groups, user groups, select group name and delete. So this was for it today, guys. In next lesson, we'll learn about BBC in detail. So if you like my videos, if you want to learn more, then click on subscribe button and click on bell icon so that you'll not be missed on further updates. So let's see in next week. Thank you.